because we'll have speakers on it or just some training. And it's just a way to get together, ask questions, learn, and hone your craft. If you're not into this to become a student of the business, then you're in the wrong business. You need to, look at doing something else. But you've got to learn this, and it's not hard. Okay, so this is a very simple business. It's not easy. Why is it not easy? Because it's kind of a lonely business unless you get the person on the phone. You dial in, and I tell you, there's days that I just wish they would answer the phone. I'll be happy if they just answer the dang phone. So I'm going to share my screen. And I'm going to look at July, okay, with you guys. And my July was not stacked, but I had a pretty good July. And we're going to look at some different numbers as to what I do. So this is the first week. And can y'all see my calendar? Hello?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we got it.
So anything that's in blue, those are appointments for me, either Zoom appointments or these little thin ones like this Eric Remick right here. That's a discovery call that's scheduled on my calendar. Now, because I didn't have a lot of these calls scheduled, now it gets a little bit better, So all these little tiny thin ones, these are people who scheduled. I'm doing what's called a discovery call. That's my process. My process is I do a discovery call. I find out if they're healthy, if they've had a DUI or any felonies. If I think they can qualify, then I'm going to schedule them for a Zoom, which is the bigger blue blocks. Okay. The bigger blue blocks are my Zooms. Those are my Zoom appointments. Those are the ones that I hope to close. Okay. Don't always close them. I may close them on another, it might be a 2-close appointment where I present it and then I close it. But what I'm doing, what my focus with you guys is dialing. Okay. So when you have white space right here, you need to call those leads. All right. And you need to dial the phone relentlessly. Those people who don't book on your calendar, or those people, maybe you just have leads. Okay. And you're going to call those people. So when I pull up my CRM, this is July. Okay. From July 1st to July 31st, I made 4,920 calls. You can look at this multiple ways. You could say, okay, if I worked every day, and I know I didn't work every day because like this week, truthfully, I actually worked every single day. But here, I took the 4th. Well, I actually did make some calls on the 4th. I think I made a sale on the 4th. But Saturday and Sunday, I took off. So I definitely didn't work 30 days. Does that make sense? I took some evenings off there. But for the most part, I worked 7 days, except this Friday, Saturday, and most of this Sunday. I took that time off. All right. And so otherwise, I worked. So let's just say let's just count one. Let's count that 2 days. We'll say 2.5. All right, 2, 3. I took 4 days off in July, and most of the 4th, but we'll say 5 days. So there's 31. There's 31 days. So that's 28, 27, right? 7, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 26 days. Okay, so let's take this number here, 4,920. 4,920 dials, 20 calls. Divide that by 26 days. All right, so I average 189 phone calls a day. All right, and if you look down here below the calculator, I only technically work 19 hours, 28 minutes, and 47 seconds making those calls. So I didn't even work full time, really, when you think about it, as far as how much time I actually dialed the phone or was on the phone, because this is the call duration. So, well, actually, I take that back. This is amount of time. That was amount of time I was speaking with someone on the phone. So yes, I probably spent a whole lot more time dialing. Okay, even though my CRM dials for me, so it's really pretty easy. Um, so, but with all that said, you have to, if you want to be successful, this isn't a hard business. It's very simple. But these times in between, when you have all this white space, that's when you should be dialing, 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 so that you can book appointments and get and fill that white space up so there's even less white space and less white space. That's what dialing does for you. Okay. And that's what getting leads and having leads does for you. You have a lot less white space. The call is pretty simple. My call, if you want to hear my discovery call, it's let's see, let me get some people here. Oh man, what did I do? Okay, I was trying to find everybody. Um, so let me use. I'll use Kurt. Kurt, ring ring. He's got to unmute.
Yes, I'm ready.
All right. So ring ring. I'm calling you up.
Hello.
Hey, Kurt.
Yes.
Hey, Kurt, this is Francis, and I was just getting back to you in regards to the information you were looking for on the IUL. Do you
Yeah,
remember filling out the information on that?
I do.
All right, fantastic. So this first call is really pretty quick. It's just more of a discovery call. Um, now, again, everybody, this is how I do it. I think we're going to hear from Daniel on how he does it. Two different approaches. They both can work, but mine's pretty quick. So those, like I said, looking at my calendar, I had those little thin lines and the big lines. I'm going to call these people and try to schedule, or I'm going to call those people who didn't schedule, and that's Kurt's going to be somebody who didn't schedule on my calendar. So hey, Kurt, this first call is really pretty quick. It's more of a discovery call. Basically, just need to find out if you can qualify. Make sure we're on the same page. That's probably the most important, and answer any questions that you might have. So let me ask you, Kurt, what was it that you were looking for that caused you to fill out the information on my website in the first place?
Well, I was looking for some tax-free growth and protection from market downturns.
Okay, okay. Well, we're definitely on the same page then. The IUL is a really good product to do that with. So the drawback to the IUL is you do have to be fairly healthy. Do you say you're fairly healthy, or do you have any health issues?
Well, I had a few. I got a couple of checkups still that are outstanding, but I think everything's okay.
So any heart attack, stroke, cancer,
No, nothing like that.
horrible diabetes that requires amputation, nothing like that?
Nothing like
Okay.
that.
So you probably would qualify. Now, there's two other things that will knock people out. So if you've had a DUI in the last year or a felony in the last 10, then that could knock you out. Have you had any of those?
No, no, no.
No. So yeah. So most likely you'd qualify. So basically what I do is I schedule a time, Kurt, so to get on a Zoom. And what we do on that Zoom is I share my computer screen, I share my credentials. We go through exactly how the Index Universal Life works. Um, we'll then run a scenario, we'll run some illustrations based on you, your age, your goals. So that way, at the end of that Zoom, you're either going to be like, man, this is great, let's get this going, or nah, that's not really what it was all hyped up to be. Okay.
Yeah.
So now we'll earmark about an hour for that Zoom. When will be a good time to schedule that where you're not at work, not driving, but you could focus on that information?
You got time on Saturday available?
Yeah, and boom, we would schedule that. So that's it. I mean, I can't say anything more than you have to make the phone calls. If you don't make the phone calls, you don't get the chance to talk to someone like Kurt or the next person or the next person. I had a huge, huge case, biggest one that I've ever had, that came from a lead. That came from a phone call. That came from setting up a Zoom. That came from just going through the motions in a sense. This is a very simple job. It's not easy because you got to stay motivated to continue making those calls when nobody's answering. I've had days where no one showed up. I've had days where almost nobody answered the phone, it seemed like. I keep little call logs. I've changed up my little call log, but I have these little call logs so I know how many calls I'm making, how many people answer the phone, how many I schedule. I've had it where I made 50 calls and I scheduled 2 people. I've had it where I made 11 calls and scheduled 6 people. I mean, you just never know. It's just all in the numbers. So that's it for me.
Awesome. Man, oh man. 4,920 calls, Francis. That blew me away. So it just shows that you are very disciplined. When you get that white space after a meeting, you get on the phone and you call. And we listen to you in here, and you're a machine. And I think whether you're home or whether you're here in the office, you have the same work discipline, which is amazing. So thank you for that. That helped a lot. And he had a key point, and MJ's got a quick question, but he had a key point, which was there's not one way to do it, right? I mean, the initial way we do it, I've got it on my board, just like Francis does it. And unless you're just totally unrelatable on the phone, they all work because you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. That's just the way it goes, right?
Yeah.
So let's get MJ, you want to unmute yourself and ask your question?
Yeah, Francis, thank you so much. My question is, of those dials, how do you dial it? Whether it's CRM, automate, whatever it is do you dial it? It rings 3 times, hangs up, dials them 3 times. So of those 4,900,
right.
It's not you didn't have 4,900 clients.
Probably not. I normally dial anywhere from 2 to 3 times. So the way I do it is I dial 2 back to back. And the reason I do that, if anybody does not know this, you can test it and see if I'm right or wrong. But if you have an iPhone, okay, like I have, and that iPhone is sitting flat on the desk like this, face down, and somebody calls that iPhone, do you realize it goes straight to voicemail? If you call it a second time, it rings. So test it sometime. It actually works. So I know when someone has an iPhone. If I call it and it goes straight to voicemail, I call it right back and it rings and rings and rings and rings, and then I get their voicemail. They had an iPhone. And then I'll hold off for about a minute. I wait a minute. I call a third time. And then unless it goes straight to voicemail, I'll do straight to voicemail like 2-3 times over, and then I'll normally leave a voicemail, because if it's going straight to voicemail, that means it's not ringing. If I don't leave a voicemail, they're not going to get anything. I'll shoot them a text maybe, or I'll leave them a voicemail. But that's it. But I stick to that pretty much 2 times to 3 times. I don't always dial 2 times, because this is a different environment than what I started in insurance, where I'm not out to piss the person off. I really want them to kind of, befriend me a little bit. And even dialing it like I do, every now and then I'll get someone, man, what you blowing up my phone for? And I'll tell them what it is. Oh, yeah, I want to talk to you. Or they'll be a dick. I mean, just like Neal said, you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. If they're a dick, they're a dick. They're always going to be a dick. And there's just, it doesn't matter how nice you were to start with. But if they're interested in the information, they're going to, oh, yeah. Because I've had to do like, hey, what are you blowing my phone up for? And then I tell them, well, yeah, I need that information. I can't talk right now. Can we? And, he probably turned into a sale. I don't remember, but I just remember the conversation.
And what do you say on your voicemail? I mean, do you go through the discovery call or what's
I'm all over the place. If it's a brand new lead and it's the first time I'm calling them, I'm going to share with them, hey, you just filled out some information on my website regarding the IUL. I'm just trying to get you this information. Please give me a call back or shoot me a text. Let me know the best time to reach you. My number is, I leave my phone number. And I'll say, and again, this is Francis. And I end it like that. Now, if they're an older lead, 6 months old, a year old, or whatever it is, and I'm calling them, then I will pretty much just say, hey, this is Francis, give me a call, 615-235-5787, hang up. So I'm just trying to get a reaction of some sort, get them to call me back.
perfect? Well, thank you, Francis. Appreciate it. And then what we'll do, we'll have Daniel come on and then we'll open it up to Q&A. So if you didn't get a chance to ask a question, these guys will be available to answer questions. So that's one way. That's the way we originally started. Daniel does it a little different. Like I said, there's no right or wrong. It is just what works, what you're comfortable with, what's relatable to the client. So Daniel, if you want to unmute yourself, we definitely appreciate you and what you do. He is branded the financial bro, and for good reason, because he just looks like a financial bro. So you really helped me. We talked about really digging a little deeper, and you sent me a couple of audios. I didn't ask for them. You just did it. That's what I love about you. You're a real giver and a helper. So why don't you go through kind of a little bit about how you drill down and how you approach it?
Yeah, for sure, dude. So thank you guys. Appreciate y'all. I think one of the reasons why, the culture of giving on our team is, so prevalent is because you guys did it first. So I appreciate y'all for doing what y'all do. I kind of want to ask a question first, and you guys, NJ, Neal, y'all stop me if you want me to, but if y'all need to, y'all stop me. But I kind of want to challenge everybody on the call right now. Who's okay with me challenging you real quick? Can we have an adult conversation? Is that okay? Everybody with their cameras off. I didn't see you. I don't know. But you got some really great people here that are giving you some phenomenal information, and we don't know if you're retaining it or not. Like, we don't know what you're doing. We don't know if you're paying attention or not. Like, it'd be really cool if you turn your cameras on. That'd be awesome. Hey, let's go, Kenneth. Let's go, boy. Like, I can tell, and it never fails, right? Like, I can always tell who's paying attention with some of this stuff. Let's go, Kenny. Let's go. Elizabeth, you even got the beach in the background. Let's go, girl. I love it. I can always tell who's going to be at the top of the leaderboard. And Francis, you helped me out with this too, because I think you've seen it. You guys have been around, but who's always going to be at the top of the leaderboard? By number one, who's got their cameras on, and number two, who's paying attention. Because the people that are retaining this information that we're giving out, like, they're going to be the ones to be able to utilize it for that next call, right? Like, so I think moving forward, I think it'd be really cool if we were able to invoke that culture of just being able to dive in and thanks, Zach. I got that text message. Everybody would love to see you cooking with your shirt off. Ladies, no, really don't. No, don't do that. You're good. He laughed. But no, like, it lets us know you're paying attention. Lets us know you're engaged. Like, this is a set time that everybody on the team kind of sets aside to help everybody get better. Like, Francis, did you get paid to be on the call today? I mean, technically, you're making commissions, right? But no, like, you're giving out that information, and you guys are learning from the $1 million a year producer. I'm turning my freaking camera on. I'm listening. I'm paying attention, So, but yeah, if you can, like, I want to challenge you guys moving forward. Like, let's dig into this stuff. Like, how many of you guys that now turn your cameras on, how many of you guys have written a policy so far? I know Danny has, Jason, Kurt, Philippe. Let's go. And if you notice, those are the ones that had their cameras on from the beginning. Case in point, let's freaking go. Okay, so if you want to, like, the whole point of the story is, if you want to write a policy, turn your camera on. Sorry, Michael, you're going to suck. No, I'm kidding. You're not going to suck. I'm just kidding. Okay, so this is just how, and thank you for letting me share my heart. I appreciate it. Like, we want to help. We want to pour out. We just want to make sure what we're doing is getting received as well. So I appreciate you guys. Love y'all. Soapbox put away. Cool. So what I do whenever I call these people the first time around, my discovery call is pretty much everything for me. And I actually ran the numbers, Neal. You'll like these numbers. As of right now on my Zoom closing ratio, I've got an 88.4% closing ratio. If I get them on Zoom, I'm closing 88.4% of the time. And I that ended up helping me know my numbers too. So if you want to be a good business owner, run your numbers. So what that's going to do, all the excuses are coming in now as to why people don't have their cameras on in the chat. It's amazing. I love it. Guilt, let it come. Let it come. I do not care. Get convicted. Holy Spirit, get them. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay. So whenever you know your numbers, you get the opportunity to know how much you're making per appointment, and it makes no shows a lot easier, right? So I found out that I'm making $300 per appointment, whether they pick up the phone or not. So $300 for 30 minutes, if they show up or not, I'm feeling great. Like, I don't care if they show up or not. So the reason why I tell you that is because it gives me the proper mentality to approach these clients from the very beginning. And Neal mentioned a lot about attitude, right? So whenever you guys approach these clients, like, I'm kind of interactive. You guys talk back with me. Like how many of you guys have an insurance license? Raise your hand. So you have the authority and the ability to be able to sell the product, right? So what that's going to do is that should invoke a certain sense of confidence. You like, yeah, I may not know everything, but I'm the only way this client can get this product that they're talking about. So you got to start acting like your time is worth $300 every 30 minutes, every 15 minutes, every appointment. Act like your time is worth that much, because I guarantee you, the moment you start acting like it, it'll turn into it. It'll just keep rolling. So the reason why I say I approach my clients and my discovery calls with that attitude, and it's not in a cocky way. It's just like, hey, is this client going to be worth my time or not? Like, can I really help them? You know? And I don't think that's like, MJ, do you think that's like out of pocket to say, or do you think that's the right attitude? Like, I think moving into these discovery calls, we're gonna get a lot of people that really want to like tire kick with us. They just want to kind of guess and get around what that call is going to look like. Like, oh, I kind of think it's an IUL. Maybe, I don't know. You'll have a lot of non-committals, right? Like, you may even have other agents try to have you teach them how to do your job, and you can fish them out pretty quick too. But what you have, the information that you got, it's really protect. You want to hold it close to the chest, but you also want to screen every client before you give them an hour on Zoom. Because my time's worth $300 an hour. Am I just going to give that willy-nilly or no? I want to make sure I'm giving that to the right person that's going to like really dive in and engage with me, right? Does that make sense to you guys?
Mm-hmm. It's good.
So knowing your numbers helps you approach each person with the proper attitude and the right amount of confidence to say, look, I'm not being cocky here, but I'm confident and I'm worth it. I'm worth having you tell me why you want this product. I'm worth you guys telling me why you think this is a good idea for you. And if you guys are taking notes, I want you to write this word down. I want you to write down why. Write down why. And then right beside it, I want you to write this thing out. Write this little phrase out. When the why is worth it, the what doesn't matter. It's WHAT. When the why is worth it, the what doesn't matter. And the moment that I figured this out, the moment I unlocked this like cheat code that helped me discover or really helped me unlock how to be able to talk to these clients. So the why. Whenever you find out why these clients want the IUL, whenever you find out what their personal why is, why they filled out the form, why they reached out, why they want to move forward, why they want to talk to a stranger sometimes on the other side of the country about this stuff, you'll get that certain sense of passion that realizes that, hey, I now have their why. I've got a loaded gun, and it gives me permission to pull that trigger on closing the sale whenever I'm ready. So they're having to qualify themselves to get to you. Does that make sense? Y'all follow me so far? You with me? Is this good? Y'all with me so far? Cool. Awesome. So whenever I find out somebody's why, it means I'm going to dig in a little bit more. I'm going to ask them questions. So Danny, I want to use you as an example. Is that okay, bro? Can I call you real quick? Go ahead and unmute your phone. Or unmute your phone. Unmute your computer. My bad, dude.
Can you hear me?
No, I can't hear you.
Oh, shoot. Hold on one
No, I got you. You're good. You're good. I got you. I'm just messing with you. Okay. So I'm going to call you, and this is going to be a discovery call. Okay. And this is how I approach every discovery call. Now, I don't have a set of words or grouping of words that I say, but it's all leading in the right direction. So every call is a little bit different, but I do pretty much every call the exact same way, but it's all in different wording. So I'm super casual, but I just keep it flowing. Okay, does that make sense? You'll kind of find out what I'm talking about here in a second. So ring ring.
Hello.
Hello, Edgar.
Yes.
Hey, Edgar, it's Daniel, the IUL specialist. How are you, man?
Oh, I'm good, man. How you doing?
Good, good. I was getting back in touch with you about your recent request to learn more about the IULs. You put on here the tax-free retirement and safe growth. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yeah.
Awesome. So I know those options were kind of limiting, man, but I wanted to learn a little bit more about you. Like, what do you do for work, and what was it that turned you on most about the IUL?
Yeah. So I like to fix and flip houses. I like real estate, and I read somewhere that with an IUL you can borrow money at a certain point and pull it out tax free. And also, just looking out for my future down the road, having tax free retirement money. Is that something that the IUL can do for me?
Dude, you're right on the money. Absolutely. How old are you, bro?
I'm 38.
38? Okay. How many properties you have right now?
Just one, but I'm looking to expand into more.
That's what's up, dude. Wife, kids?
Wife, 2 kids. Yep.
That's what's up, man. What are their names?
Camila and Carolina.
Two girls?
2 girls.
Gorgeous names, man. Absolutely gorgeous. Love it. So, what
Thanks.
made you start doing the real estate thing?
It's just something that we just kind of fell into. It was difficult to, find property here where we live, and so we figured we'll just wait the market out. And in the meantime, we found a property that we really liked, and I kind of caught the bug, so I wanted to get more into it.
That's awesome. Is that your full-time gig right now, or are you doing something else full-time?
No, I just work a regular, normal job, 9 to 5, and then I just do this on the side. But I want to get more into it, and I want to figure out the best way to make my money work for me so I can pursue this full time.
Got it. Got it. So what's your 9 to 5 right now? What are you doing?
I just work in sales.
Oh, okay. All right. So you know this whole pitch. You already know what I'm doing, don't you?
Nah, I don't. You're better than me.
No, man. No. So my job is pretty simple, dude. It's just to try to help you get to where you want to go at the end of the day. The IUL is a multifaceted vehicle, and it allows us to be able to do certain things with certain people, but it all depends on how we structure it. So the reason why I asked a lot of those questions, because I want to know how to design this policy specifically for you and your goals. Okay. So I want to make sure that we're building this thing the right way for a 38-year-old that's got a wife and 2 kids that wants to make sure. And I'm assuming you don't have any other coverage now, right?
No.
Okay. And on the form here, it says you don't have any other retirement plan, like no 401k, IRA, no savings, any cash in the backyard that you're just putting in a jar or anything like that? Or
Yeah, a little bit of cash, but nothing substantial.
you probably keep that like liquid for another property you're trying to get, right?
Yeah, we're just trying to save. Exactly. We're trying to save it and build up until we can get some more.
Got it. Roughly how much you got right now? 5, 10, 20 grand, 100
Well,
mil?
like 30 grand.
30 grand? Okay.
Yeah.
What if I showed you that there was a way for you to be able to incorporate that in a safe, structured policy to where the bank couldn't touch it, nor the market, but it still worked actively for you while you purchase the next property?
That'd be great.
That'd be awesome, right? And
Yeah.
the money's going to remain liquid for you too, so you can access it whenever you want. You get checkbook liquid access to it. Would you be interested in something like that if I could show you that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Dope. Okay. So I'm putting some of the pieces together for you. I think I've got a strategy that's going to work. Now, the whole process with the IUL as a whole, what we're going to do is we're going to jump on a Zoom call next. And with that Zoom call, what we're going to do is kind of hone in on a specific strategy that I'm going to build for you tonight after we get off this discovery call. So I'm going to prepare for you. And once we end up getting on that Zoom call, we're going to present that strategy to you. We're going to go over all the pros and cons about the IUL. And I believe people lie, but numbers don't. So I'm going to show you exactly what the numbers can do at a deflated rate. The market as a whole that we've seen has gone at anywhere from 10.14% growth over the past 44 years. I'm going to show you what 6.44% looks like. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, that sounds good.
So I'm purposely going to under promise and over deliver for you. That way, if I tell you you're going to have like 150,000 in your account, but you actually have 120 or 200, I'm sorry, you're not going to be mad at me, right?
Right, right.
Okay, cool. Awesome. So that's kind of what we're going to do. I'm going to lay all that out for you. And then if you like what you see at the end of the day, what we're going to do is submit the application for you. Now, I can't approve you, okay? I want to approve absolutely every client that I work with, but the company told me that if I got to approve everybody, I would no longer be an insurance company. I would lose money. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to submit your application for your request for coverage. In about 1 to 3 weeks, what's going to happen is the company's going to contact me, let me know if you're approved, denied, or if they have any other questions. I'm going to reach back out to you, and then we're going to move forward. And if they say you're approved, you're going to get your application, you're going to get your policy set up, and your money's going to start growing. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Cool. So next step, I know we talked about the 30 grand, but even before that was an option, kind of talk to me a little bit more about how much you think you want to put towards your policy on a monthly basis, or did you want to do annually?
No, I think it was going to be monthly, and I'm just trying to figure out if I could how I could raise another 30,000 to have a substantial amount for a down payment on a new home.
Sure. So if you're going to be putting 30, your goal is to get 30,000 as quickly as possible. You're going to be pretty serious about this then, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So what do you think you'd be able to manage monthly comfortably to be able to build that $30,000 goal as fast as possible for you?
Maybe like I was thinking somewhere between 800 to $1,000 a month.
800 to 1,000 at 38 years old. Now, if you get, it's my job to protect you at the same time, dude. I can't set you up for something that's going to cause you to lose any money or whatever. So if like flat tire goes out or washing machine goes out or hot water heater goes down in that property you guys just built, or if an emergency happens, that 800 to 1,000 a month's not going to hurt you, right?
No.
Okay, perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you anywhere from 800 to 1,000 a month on that policy application that we're looking at. And if you like what you see, we're going to move forward with that number, and we're going to pursue forward with the application from there. Okay.
Sounds good.
Now, for that Zoom call, what I'm going to need is about an hour of your time. What we're going to do is go through the entire application again, go through the process. I'm going to show you because I'm a visual person. I'm sure a lot of people that talking about their money, they want to see it grow too. So I've got tomorrow and I've got Saturday morning open. Which one of those works best for you and your wife to be able to jump on this Zoom call so we can go over this together?
Saturday morning would probably be the best.
Saturday morning? Okay. And you're Eastern time or Central time?
Central time.
Central time? Okay. So I've got a 9 a.m. your time, 10 a.m. my time. And then I've got a 10:30 and an 11:45 my time. So that'd be 10:45 your time. Which one of those works best for you?
10:45 would be great.
10:45? Okay. So
Yeah.
in order for us to honor both of our times, go ahead and pull your calendar out. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. I'm going to put you in my calendar for 10:45 for an hour. Can you go ahead and put that in your calendar for me as well?
Sure.
Perfect. All right. So let me know whenever you got it done.
All right.
And you should be receiving a text message from my system now. It's that 864 phone number, the one you were getting those text message reminders from. Let me know when you get that.
Okay, I just got it.
You just got it? Okay.
Yep.
That's the text message number that all your reminders are going to be coming from. So you're going to get an hour reminder, 30-minute reminder, and all that good stuff just to ensure you're still going to be there for that meeting on Saturday. Okay?
Okay.
And what time was that Saturday appointment again?
10:45.
Perfect. Again, my name's Daniel, dude. I look forward to working with you soon, Edgar. It's going to be awesome. I look forward to showing you everything I'm working with, okay?
All right, I appreciate you. Thank you.
Talk to you soon, man. See you, buddy.
All right, take care. Bye.
Dude,
That's
you're
my
the boss.
No, that's my discovery call. That's what I do with every client. Like so the whole reason why I do all that was I wanted to dig in and find out what he ended up finding. Oscar's like, that boy just did that. My gosh, I ain't doing it. Ugh. He's like, bruh, I know. I love the cameras on. No, I'm just messing with
Hey,
you.
the confidence is out of this world, I gotta tell you. But truth be told, I was at Publix, so I couldn't turn my camera on, but I've been listening this whole time. I can't miss Thursday nights for anything.
No, you're good. I got you, bro. You're Gucci. I got convict him, Lord. Amen. No, I'm kidding. Okay. But no, the reason why I'm able to like approach Danny with that type of, I guess, swagger or confidence or whatever you want to call it, because quite frankly, my time's worth it. Like Francis doesn't have time to speak with somebody that's not ready to make a move on a policy for him and his family. This man's wrote like $800,000 for the year so far. He ain't messing with no scrubs. Like, no, he's not. He's ready to help anybody and everybody that's willing to help themselves, right? So whenever you start invoking that swagger, or you start invoking that confidence about yourself, Kenny, you get to say, yo, I'm going to find out exactly why this fool wants this IUL. And once he does, I'm going to be able to tailor make that policy specifically for him. You know, like I'm going to be able to find out, like, hey, look, he wants to get into real estate. So it tells me he probably doesn't like his 9 to 5. So he wants to utilize this policy to over leverage everything that he's got, right? So I'm going to show him exactly how to utilize the policy to be able to get exactly what he wants, leverage it to the right way, and be able to tailor make it back towards real estate. So everything that I'm going through in the Zoom call, I'm saying, look, every time you get 30,000, there's a house. There's another house. There's another house. And he gets to see that. He sees the dollar signs in his head. If I could paint the picture of hope that he wants through this policy, every time he's going in, they're submitting an application. It works like clock. Like if he wants a death benefit for his 2 girls, like I found out he's working a 9 to 5 gig right now. I found out he's doing real estate. He's got a wife and 2 girls. Like if I find out that, you know, he has no backup plan, no retirement plan, I'm going to talk to him about the death benefit too. So in the event he passes away tomorrow, that death benefit's there for his family so they can continue on the real estate journey without him if they need to, or they can still survive. There's a backup plan. So I give them peace of mind, but also give them hope with what their specific goals are. And I think that moving forward, that confidence that I have to be able to approach every single discovery call with gives me the opportunity to be able to speak boldly on the Zoom calls and tailor make the illustration and the application specifically for them. So Neal, that was me, dude. That's all I got. I hope that makes sense and I hope it helps.
Oh, that's awesome. And by the way, I'm going to put a link in the chat. So we'll have this video up at this location later on tonight. That's why I tell MJ I usually get home about 10 or 10:15 on Thursdays because I want to get this thing up there because this was gold. So why don't we do this? And there's Hank. Hey, Hank. Hey, bud. This is my grandson.
Yeah, he just listened to Mr. Broadway.
Oh, wow. He knows Mr. Broadway.
What's good, Hank? What's up, boy?
Hi, Mr. Broadway.
What's going on, dude?
Nothing.
Nothing?
It's almost your bedtime, bud. Yeah, we got 2 of the grandkids staying with us. Our kids are on vacation, so we're playing grandparents. So let's open it up. Any questions you guys have? Why don't you just unmute yourself, introduce yourself, where you're from, and then go ahead and ask your question. Felipe, you've got your hand up.
Yeah. Thank you, Daniel, for going through that. That was a good discovery call and being able to share that with everybody. My question is for you, like, what do you do when the other person is not so receptive, like open and to be able to answer those questions? They're just kind of like, don't want to answer them. Like, what do you pivot to? What's your strategy after that? After you're trying to dig that why out of them?
Yeah. So if you're talking about like they're just trying to divert and go back towards like, you know, what's the cost or what's the price or what's it look like or something, like what do you mean?
Yeah, just like, well, yeah, you know, like, yeah, I just want to give them information right now. Like, no, like they don't want to get personal with you.
Yeah. So, I mean, I can only go so far and I can only dig so far without sounding like a jerk, you know, because I don't want to sound like a jerk on the phone. And that's something like, no lie, Neal and MJ know I'm struggling with this. I'm working through it. I'm a recovering jerkaholic, but it's like
Jerkaholic.
Francis's face just went like, I'm a recovering jerkaholic, but I'm in my making amends stage and moving forward, and I am, you know, actively letting things go a lot better than I used to. So I used to get offended when somebody didn't give me that stuff. So that's a really good question, dude. But
yeah, that's why, because I'm doing that right now, and I feel like some people that I talk to, they're just kind of like, I just want the information, like I don't, and I'm like, I'm trying to get that why, and it's just, they're just kind of like very passive, like almost kind of like, well, I don't really want to share that with you.
Yeah. So if they MJ, I won't repeat it. MJ sent me a private text message. I wasn't laughing at you, bro. I promise. MJ sent me a private message, and Leanne's about to spill her water everywhere, and it's gonna be great. I'm gonna love it. Sorry, this Zoom call just went south. Sorry, Neal.
No, you're good.
But so what I'll do is I had to come to the realization that my retirement is okay. My funds and my finances are okay. And I can't want it more than they do. So I have to tell myself, look, I'm going to do the best I can to divert the conversation back to the end goal. Which, if you look at like run this with me, I'm trying to think of the best way to describe this, but if you think of your conversation as like a road, and these are your highway lines right here, right? Picture that with me, okay? Picture those things are still right there. The conversation's going down the highway, okay? And it's going to take a little turn, but at the end of the day, you still got to get to this end result here. So if you can continue to divert and move towards the end goal, move towards the straight line, that's going to help you more than anything. And if they don't let you get there, then ultimately you just put them in the long-term nurture and the CRM, and it's going to send them more information about the IUL. So you just say, look, like most people aren't ready for this thing yet. If you would like me to just send you more information about it, I can. And if you want to actually see it visually with a specialist that's been doing this for the better part of a decade, I'd be more than happy to bridge the gap between that educational process that you would have. So it'd probably be a little bit easier for you one-on-one, which most people typically want. But if you want, I'll just send you videos to watch and you can just hit me up when you're ready. And I give them a way out. And I actually learned that from Neal. So whenever I give them a way out, it makes it easier for me to tell them no because they're not worth my time at that moment. That doesn't mean they're not qualified yet, it just means they're not ready now. So whenever I put them in the long-term nurture campaign, the CRM has the ability to drip on them. And, you know, they may be ready 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. Like I just wrote a $22,000 IUL policy on somebody that I got in touch with a year ago. Like it doesn't mean they're bad. It just means they may not be ready yet. And the worst thing that you can do is build a bridge from somebody that needs your help from a very early stage, because they're going to look to you as a specialist. They're going to look to you as somebody that could really, you know, like help them moving forward if they trust you. So whenever you earn their trust from them at the very beginning, you then get the opportunity to earn their business later on. So I try to like divert as best I can. Like if they say, hey, you know, I just kind of want to learn a little bit more about it. I'm like, yeah, that's great. I want to learn a little bit more about you to find out if this is a great fit. If it's not, I can expedite that process for us both. But, you know, it would kind of make it a little bit easier if you answer some of the questions we're going through, because it just helps me out as the expert to help you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And we just kind of push forward from there. And if they still kind of buck, I'm like, that's okay. Look, if you'd like me to just send you information, I'll just email you something and we can look over it from there whenever you're ready.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and I've even said, hey, look, this isn't a one size fits all. And so
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be nosy, but I'm just trying to dig in to find out why you want this and what you're trying to accomplish, because it may not work for you. And I'd rather tell you that now than, you know, have a bunch of meetings and stuff and then find out that it's really not going to accomplish what you want it to do. So
That's good. I
couple
like
different
that.
ways.
That's
Hey,
good.
Danny, you got your hand up. Go ahead.
So, so I guess maybe this is towards like Felipe, like, you know, as Daniel was going through it, it was interesting to get it from this perspective because, and I don't know, Daniel, I mean, this is what I took away from that is like the connecting questions were were done so well and efficiently that it actually took me off guard. So like there was like serious question, oh, family, serious question, oh, like what are your goals? So there was all these things that kind of, you know, you kind of want to be hesitant, but then he like gives a question that opens you up a little bit more, and then it's like reeling in a fish. You know what I mean? It's like okay, just a little bit, then a little slack, and a little bit more. You know, and I think that that was where, you know, if you're talking to somebody about money, the confidence and the connecting questions, there was no hesitation, there was no he gave me space to talk. So I thought that that was great because you kind of want to be a little bit hesitant, but because of the connecting questions, it just like got to the point efficiently, I think. But my question, Daniel, was going to be like, do you get into health like during that call, or do you wait for? I have two questions actually. Do you wait for it afterwards?
Yeah, I'm gonna have Francis kind of team in with me on this one too, because he's the one that did freaking 4,000 dials in a week. He's a monster. But typically when I call, and I start letting them know from the jump, I can't qualify you, and you have to qualify for this. Their butthole immediately puckers if they have something to hide, and it just comes right out. Like it's crazy. So they start having like once I got that trust with them, they start like, Jason, that was funny. I know, I'm sorry, bro. Squirrel. But they start having like that little emotional moment. Like they start having that conviction, like, dang, I got COPD. Dang, I had a heart attack 10 years ago. I had cancer. I wonder if I can get approved. I need to bring that to this guy's attention, you know? So in my experience, I've found they typically tell me on the call whenever I mention that they have to get qualified. Like the first question they always ask is, wait a minute, what do you mean you got to get qualified? Either that or it's like, what, through credit? Like, no, through health. And then it's like, oh, okay, it's one of those two variations. Like Neal, MJ, Francis, what do you guys think about that one? That's what I found.
I mean, the health needs to come out. Otherwise, why set Zoom? That's how I look at it. So that's why I key on it. I mean, I do love and I do need, I want to change my discovery call to be more like yours, Daniel, mainly because I am running into a lot of situations where I get no shows, and so many no shows. Not that you don't get no shows,
Right.
but also when I get the person on the call and they are just kind of kicking the tires. Where if I would have, taken the time to really dig in why they want this and how much are they looking to put into it. The worst is, all right, well, we're at the illustration. How much you want to fund this for? I've got some people that put $500 a month. I have one gentleman puts $5,000 a month. What would you like to put in? Well, what's the lowest? Can I do 50? Like $50, I had a lady today. Well, I'd like to do it annually. How much annually? Well, $1,000. I said annually? It's like, it didn't lapse, but it damn near would have lapsed, So I just told her, I said, this isn't going to work for what you're wanting. She wants to be her own bank. I said, do you know how long that your bank's going to take to build? And so, but I should have done that on the discovery call, not the Zoom, because that was time not wasted. I mean, I did educate the lady. She was very grateful. I sent her the illustration so she could learn about it. So when she's ready, she'll go, I'll be dead by then. But anyways.
No, it's good stuff. Thank you.
I have a follow-up, but I'll let Peter go. Yep.
Yeah, Peter, you got your hand up. Go ahead. Hey, Peter, where are you from?
I'm from Los Angeles.
Perfect.
I have been in the industry long time, but not the IUL. This is new for me, but I've been around very, very long time, the life insurance business. The question I have to either one of you, when you make the call and they give you an objection right off the bat, even to proceed with the call, like, I don't remember filling out the form, or I had change of heart about the whole thing. How do you overcome that objection to proceed with the discovery call?
Francis, you want to handle that?
So me, I don't. I just, if they, I'm not going to, my job isn't to talk them into this. So if they don't understand it, Peter, like if they don't remember filling it out, Peter, I will jog their memory. So yeah, this was about, setting up generational wealth or tax-free retirement. Some people use the IUL to set up, the infinite banking or be your own bank concept. Does any of that sound familiar? Oh yeah. Or no, that still doesn't. Well, then you probably filled out the wrong thing. I mean, I'll just dismiss them and go on. Now, if they say, oh yeah, okay, well, then I'll get into my discovery call. But if they're like have a change of heart, I might ask them, well, what changed? And that's about it, and I'm not going to talk them into this because then they're going to be one that's going to, I'm going to get a charge back. They're going to cancel it a month or 2 months into it,
Thank you.
And plus you have so many people to call.
Right.
It's really a positive thing because the funnel's working exactly how we want it to work. Weed out the ones that are just on the border and leave the ones that are really serious.
Yeah. Can I add something to that, Neal?
Yeah, you bet. Okay.
So I completely agree 120% with these two guys. And I saw this best whenever I saw a video on Instagram from Trax. You guys know who Trax is, the gold guy from New York?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about? Go look him up if you don't. He makes all these like elaborate. He's a phenomenal jeweler, right? Like, but anyway, he's standing on the street of New York, and he's handing out gold and silver bars to whoever will take them. And he's just like, "Excuse me, sir, you want 2 ounces of silver? Excuse me, sir, you want a gold bar?" And people passed him. Like, some people didn't take it. Do you think he was upset when people didn't take it, or was he like thrilled because he got to keep it for his business? You guys tell me. What do you think? Anybody?
Were they skeptical? Is that why they wouldn't take it?
I don't know, dude. But they just passed him on the street. Like, they would not. Do you think he was ecstatic that they did not take his gold and his silver away from him, or do you think he was sad they didn't take it?
No.
I don't think he cared.
No. Reason why was because he had an offer so good for somebody else that it benefited him if they didn't take it. With the IUL as a whole, we've got an offer so good for everybody that's willing to listen, and the ones that don't, it takes so much load and pressure off of us. We're like, okay, whew, one less thing I got to do, like one less person I have to serve. Because, I mean, granted, we do get paid for it, but whenever you look at it that way, it's like, okay, cool. That's one less person. That's one less chargeback I have to worry about later. That's a hassle for me. Like, that's one less good thing I get to do for somebody else because they wouldn't let me. So now I get to focus on the people that are receptive. Like, he was just as happy for the people that took it, like took the gold, as the ones that didn't. So you, like, even Alex Ramosi said, you want an offer so great that it benefits you when somebody doesn't take it. So it frees up more time for you to call more people, like Francis was talking about, to reach out to the one that really does want it. So that supposed like $3,000 or $4,000 chargeback could ultimately turn into the opportunity for you to call a $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, $20,000 sale. So, like, think about it that way, and you won't have the wrong attitude towards it again. I think, my opinion, if that's cool with you.
Hey, we're going to do 2 more quick questions, and because we're right up at 8 o'clock here. So
I got to sign off. I have a Zoom. So
yeah,
y'all
go
have a
ahead,
good night.
Francis. Thank you. So Oscar, go ahead and make it quick if you would.
Oh, it'll be quick because I had a question for Francis.
Oh.
And then Daniel, like I told you before, I love your confidence, man. And if you were to call me and just have that conversation, like you talk to people like you know them, you give me that ease, and you make people feel comfortable, and I'm sure that you've done it 100 times, and that's part of the repetition makes perfect, but it just flows out. So if you were to call me today and say, hey, Oscar, I say you filled out some information for an IUL, I would have been like talking to you about, I would have opened up to you, and you would have been like, I don't have to ask this guy any questions. And that's because obviously it's my personality, but you come across as a friend, not as a salesperson.
Yeah.
I think people will definitely feel comfortable with that. You don't feel like, hey, how much you want? No, none of that. That doesn't, and then the IULs themselves, I know they sell themselves. So if I present them the way it's supposed to be presented, I don't have to worry about them saying, oh, I need to think about it, because there's nothing to think about. But the presentation and the way you come across, man,
I think what Daniel does a great job of, instead of you being over there and him being over here, he kind of has a way verbally of putting his arm around your shoulder and say, hey, look, we're on the same side, and I'm going to help you get to where you want to go.
Yeah.
Because I know how to help you get there.
Absolutely. That person on the other end, he helps them put their guard down because he's having a conversation with them, right? It's not about, hey, look, this is just a preliminary call, blah, 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 blah. So there's no pressure, and he's asking me about myself. He's not asking me about an IUL. So I think it's a really good approach. I would love to see you guys, like watch you guys do what you do, man. I think that would be priceless. I don't know if that's possible.
We got to figure that. We got to figure that out.
What do you mean, like actually on a Zoom call, or?
Maybe not a Zoom, because I know there's some information that's it's sensitive, but maybe like a discovery call, or whatever, just so I can maybe take some more notes and see you in action.
Send me your email, and I can send you the same recordings I sent Neal.
They're excellent.
They're two live recordings, or better yet, I'm gonna put my phone number in the chat, Neal, if that's cool with you.
Yeah, that's cool.
Only if your camera is on will I send this to you. If you bug me and your camera is not on, no, I'm messing with y'all.